Morgan, we were talking about something that I think it's good to turn the camera on about. And, there's the phrase, more money doesn't buy happiness. And you immediately told me that you didn't agree with that. And I am in agreement with you that I don't think the statement that more money doesn't bring happiness is totally true. I think there is a certain level of income and net worth in a personal situation where more money certainly brings more happiness. If you can keep the bills on than you could before, or you can take care of your family, like more money certainly in that situation brings more happiness. I think where this idea that more money doesn't bring more happiness is like when you get to having a higher income. And there is studies that say, I think the old number was like $75,000 is where the marginal utility of dollars begins to decline. Meaning, for every dollar above that threshold, you get less and less happiness. So if $1 gives you 10 units of happiness, the next dollar only gives you 9, you're still happier, but you're getting happier at a declining rate. And eventually it doesn't do anything. I don't know if that number is actually accurate, but there's this idea that there is. But I think that even at high levels, more money can bring more happiness when that more money is aligned. So I would want to say that more money may not bring more happiness. More aligned money will bring more happiness. And I want people to begin to shift how they view money and how it may or may not bring them happiness by thinking about, is it aligned with my values? Is it aligned with my authentic self? Is it aligned with my authentic life? If it is, then I think it will bring more happiness for reasons I want to hit on here in a second. But I don't want people to be afraid of making more money, because that is a money story that I've had to overcome, and it's a money story that I still struggle with from time to time. This idea that I want to make more money, but when I go through this little checklist in a moment, like the reason for me making more money is totally aligned with my values and myself and my authentic life, then I should go grab as much money as possible because it's going to be used for good things. So what do I mean by aligned money? Well, first off, when I say aligned money, I mean it is aligned with your authentic life. And what do I mean by aligned is it's speaking to it. So I think the best way to kind of look at this and just do a litmus test, if you will, is does your checkbook, does your credit card statement align with the things you say you value the most? Does it align with your authentic life? If you tell me that you value your health and you value taking care of yourself, but there's no gym membership, there's no subscription to a weight program, and it's full of fast food, that's misaligned. They are not speaking to each other. What you're saying does not match your spending. But if your spending matches what you're saying, then you're probably in alignment. So to me, aligned money just means the things you say you value, the authentic version of yourself that you discovered, and the authentic life that you're trying to build for you and your family, if it speaks to that and what that represents is how you spend your money, then you have alignment, and I think that's a good thing. Spirit, mind, body, and money all in alignment. So that's what aligned money is. How can we make sure that we are doing? I think there's 3 things to take into consideration to make sure that your desires, the increased money you're trying to go after, whether it's through investing or earning or saving, whatever it might be, to check that to make sure that's aligned. The first thing is the motivation behind the goal aligned? So do you want to make more money because you want to buy fancier cars and buy more expensive clothes and create this image of this life to impress other people? If that's the case, it's probably not aligned with you, because very few of us actually, if we could write our script, want to live a life to impress other people. We're trying to impress other people because we're seeking validation, we're seeking improvement from others, when we really just need to love and approve ourselves. So what is the motivation, and is it aligned? An example being, one of my motivations for making more money, I'll be honest, some of it is to have nicer trips and do some things with the family, but the majority of the reason I want to make more money is I want to be able to invest in other people. I want to be able to be that little spark that somebody who is pursuing their authentic life needs to get started. So a great example of this happened earlier today. I'm at the coffee shop, going to meet somebody for an appointment, and I'm talking to one of the coffee shop workers that I see all the time, and asked him, how his day was going. He got in before 6 o'clock. He was getting off a little afternoon, and I asked him what he had going on the rest of the day, and he told me that he had another job. So I asked him what it was, and he told me that he is working on a long-term mission, and that this afternoon he has some calls to try to do some fundraising. And I said, well, tell me more. And he's like, well, I'd love to tell you more. And he gave me his business card, and I'm going to set up time to talk to him. But I would love to be in a position that I'm not in today to be able to hear what his mission's about. I know it's going to be a good thing because he's a great guy. I see him all the time. I would love to end that meeting and write him a $5,000 check and be like, hey, I know money is a big thing on the mission. Like, I know you want prayers and support and other things, and I can give you that as well. But at the end of the day, most missions never take place because people can't get the money. So here's $5,000, and not even think twice about it. Not worry about any return on my investment, just to be able to help him out. I'm not in a position to be able to do that. And I'm not going to sacrifice with the life I've built for my family to be able to do those things. That is a way I could do it, but I've just decided that I'll go make more money. How can I make more money? So that's the motivation. That is aligned with what's important to me. My motivation is make more money so I can write him a check. Make more money so when Morgan's ready to go build her own studio, I can be an early investor and I can say, look, I'm going to invest this much money in your studio. I hope I get my money back. I don't care if I make a penny, because I want to be able to help people pursue their authentic life, live the person they want to be, and not do it and capitalize on that growth. So let me get my money back, and I know that I've helped somebody build a new life for themselves, doing what they're supposed to do that will drastically change their life and their family's life. That return on my investment is priceless. That's all I need. And then I get the money back and I go do it again. So motivation, is it aligned? For me in that scenario, that's how making more money as a goal is aligned with my authentic life. The use is kind of tied to the motivation, but when you get those dollars, are you using it for good or are you using it for selfish reasons? Not to say that you can't treat yourself, not to say that you can't use it selfishly, but is the majority of the use aligned in a way that is going to be helpful to others? I think that's really important, because when I'm thinking about all of this and trying to attract more money, earn more money, one and the same. You earn it, but you also attract it. You know, money is in a state of flow. It's an exchange of value. Money is just basically an exchange of energy as well. And yes, there's value behind the services, but I also think the energy behind the intention carries some weight in the universe as far as attracting money to you. So are you going to use the dollars in a way that will be for good, and is it in alignment with what you value? So very similar to the motivation, but I think it's actually different, because motivation is the why, using it is the how, and are you actually doing it? So you have to make sure that when you get these dollars, you actually use them the way you said you want to. And the final thing is how you earn or attract. Are you doing it in a way that is true to your authentic self? Is it using your unique gifts and talents? Is it of service to others? Or are you getting money the easy way in a way that is not aligned with you, and maybe even in ways that aren't even legal, because that's an option. And I do think that trying to have a talk that can apply to everybody, sometimes you're in a situation where you do what you got to do. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about those situations where you are in good shape financially, you and your family are good, but you want to go get more money to go do things that are helping other people. Are you doing it in a way that's true to who you are, who you say you are, who you want to be? Or are you compromising for the money? I've experienced it. I've witnessed it. When you compromise your authenticity, when you compromise your values for money, it works in the short term. It never works in the long term. But it might take you a little bit longer to build that wealth, to earn and attract that income, doing it in a way that is true to your authentic self, but that's the way that lasts the longest. And another example, because I can only speak to my journey, rebranding my firm, which you hear more about, I've teased that, but the rebranding of my firm to be able to move forward as a financial advisor, taking care of existing clients as I always have, but taking on new clients in a new way that no one is asking for, no other financial advisor is doing, is the slow way. But it is going to be the way that I will be able to do for the long term, which will help me reach those financial goals, because the value I'm providing allows me to charge a premium, which means people will pay me more, and I will be able to do it with fewer people, and it will accumulate dollars that I'm not used to having today that can be used towards these other goals that I have. So, like, the means of accumulating is I've found my unique gift and talent. The work I want to do is authentic to who I am. It's serving others, and it will help more people live their authentic life. And I have some other ways of doing that as well. That, to me, is in alignment. So more aligned dollars will make you happy, because you're doing it in a way that is true to you. It's aligned with your values. You're tapping into your unique gifts and talents, which means you're doing things that you're good at and that you love, that you can charge a premium for, and that will attract the dollars you need to go do the good work. So What's the motivation? Is it aligned? Are you using the dollars aligned? And is the way you're acquiring those dollars aligned with who you are, your values, and your authentic life? You do all of that, and I challenge you to show me that more money did not make you happier in that situation, regardless of how much you have.